Yo, yo, what is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast Network, by the way. Change that to network. Coming at you with another edition of the Unscripted Sportscast. All right, man. We're about midway point, pretty much of the Saturday through the preseason. Our boy Cricket is going to be back week one of the NFL with our typical breakdowns of the weekly matchups, betting, and, all that good fantasy football stuff. So, but y'all can't wait for Cricket to get back so we can hit some more football talk. Anyway, coming back at you. It was kind of a slow week regarding football, pretty much. I mean, hey, you know how it is. I'm not going to go over the weekends. I was more, it's already Thursday. There's no point in me breaking down the matchups of what I saw last Thursday. But I want to give you another edition of the NFC and another edition of a division preview. And today is definitely the let me see where we're at. We're looking at the AFC South. I want to give you my preview and go over the this week, slow week, but we had some interesting ones, right? You know what I mean? We had some interesting ones. So absolutely. And I want to get started with this. And before I get started, man, I haven't done this in a while. I haven't used my trending in sports intro here. So check this out. What do we have here? We have Mr. Colin Kaepernick is back on the scene, had himself a nice little, interview, I forget with who, and he said himself that he wants to kind of get back to the NFL. He at probably 32 years old, he feels that he could be valuable to a team and that kind of good stuff. And then earlier that day, it was yesterday, Jim Harbaugh is hoping to add Colin Kaepernick to the Chargers coaching staff. He said that he'd be a tremendous coach if that's the path he chose. Look, guys, I'm not going to harp this. Nothing against Colin Kaepernick. Kneeling aside or whatever your political views are, you know what I'm saying? From a quarterback standpoint, he's done. All right, let's not get it twisted. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but Colin Kaepernick's career was in a downhill, okay, after his 2013 season. Okay, that was his best season he had as a pro. 21 touchdowns, had a QBR of 67, which is really important. 8 interceptions, 2 for a little bit over, almost 3,200 yards. On the ground, he had himself his best year, 92 carries, 524 rushing yards with 4 touchdowns, right? That was almost as good as when he caught lightning in a bottle and took him to the Super Bowl, right? When it took over midseason. 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, the rest. QBR of 73. I mean, this kid was on fire. But the decline after that was horrible. He lost his job to Brad Gabbert. Whatever his name is. Is it Brad Gabbert or something? His name is Gabbert. The backup quarterback who sucked. 16 games in 2014, QBR 58, had 19 touchdowns, 10 assists, 10 interceptions, fell below his rushing, kind of dropped down. Because remember, that's the other thing. Colin is a running quarterback, strong arm, but his main weapon is his running. Okay, he only had, let me see here, his rushing, back here, his rushing in 2014, had himself more rushes, only 1 touchdown, 639 rushing yards, but that's with a decline, right? Went from the 67 QBR from the previous year to 58. Okay, I'm not kidding.
You gotta give him that hawk to it. Spit on that thing. You get me?
It is what it is, right? And then 2014, 2015, only played 9 games because he was injured. In 2012, when he was gone, became the backup quarterback. He was he was actually not doing bad. 16 touchdowns, 4 interception, but his QBR was 49, man. All right, 2,200 yards. Not terrible numbers. His running attack on the ground, his rushing, which is a strong suit, 468 yards, 2 touchdowns. Mediocre. And I get it. He did get a little bit of black boldness in there when it comes to kneeling for the national anthem. So I don't, I'm not going to get political on this real quick. Hold on a second. Let me move this. There we go. Let me move the camera a little bit over here. I don't want to get political on this matter. But he was on the decline. as a coach, what are my thoughts about Colin Kaepernick as a coach? All right, Colin Kaepernick as a coach. What do I think about that? Well, let me drink some water. I don't know about that. You have to be biased as a coach. Okay. That's one thing. You got to be biased as a coach. You cannot be one directional. And I don't know if Colin Kaepernick can be that. What kind of coach would it be? Of course, it's going to be a quarterback coach, right? That's the only thing he can do. He's a quarterback. But I don't know if this guy's going to create division with his advocacy, his political views, if he's going to bring more controversy to a locker room. You know, those are things you need to look at if you want to bring this individual in as a coach. Now, he has a large following. He has a culture behind him. I don't want to say a full culture, but he has a large following. You know, Nike could be something for the team. Now, whether Jim Harbaugh actually meant this, that he would be a tremendous coach and he would love to bring him on or hoping to add him to his coaching staff, whether he meant that for real or he just said that to kind of reach out with an olive branch, right? With an olive branch. And just because he is loyal to his quarterbacks. Remember, Jim Harbaugh is one of the reasons why McCarthy, JJ McCarthy, was able to get drafted way sooner than he should have. Way sooner than he should have. No doubt about it. All right. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's probably why JJ McCarthy probably was the reason why he got drafted. He's good. He's loyal to his quarterbacks. There's no doubt about it. He's very loyal to his quarterbacks. And I get it. You know, he's being loyal to this guy. He made him, he gave him some success. He took him to a Super Bowl, did not win it. So he's always going to be loyal to his players. And that's what I like about Harbaugh. He is very loyal to his players. So again, whether he actually means this or not, I honestly don't fucking think so. I just think he's full of shit and he just wants to, do a little, reach out and knowledge. Right? So I thought it was interesting news yesterday. It was really out there from that standpoint. And you know what? It could be for a good storyline and football. It's definitely going to be on the news a lot, especially if he kneels again. And also, my personal take, I think he's going to be a division in the locker room, man. Again, look, they say quarterbacks are good leaders, but this guy is one of those guys. Again, he has a different perspective of life, which doesn't mix with the NFL. All right. For a lack of a better word, the NFL does not want to lose any more viewerships or viewers than what they have right now. And I don't think, it's something that might work well together. Here we go. Oh, Jim, my boy Jim, fan in the van, my co-host of Cigars and Sports. We got a banger coming up on August 30th, people. Make sure you tune in. More to follow. Calling as a coach, I don't know. Me neither. I don't know if that's going to work out. I really don't know if that's going to work out, Jim. So, but yeah, again, this might be all BS and smoke from Jim because Jim loves to do that. Jim Harbaugh is loyal to his players and he promotes players. He did it with JJ McCarthy. That dude got drafted in the 10th pick and Minnesota moved down from it, and look what they got. No quarterback this year, but at least JJ is going to do his thing. All right, what else we got going on here today? Moving on to the next subject. Next in piece over here. Oops, what happened here? Let's see what we got. Oh, let me hide the screen here real quick before I get there. Moving on to the next one on the dot, and staying on the topic of JJ McCarthy. Kid is out for the season, bro. He is out for the season. They have to repair his meniscus. And that's not cool, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. They were not planning to start him this year early on. Let's Sheamus from WWE get ready for a banger. Absolutely, Jim. Look, let's be honest here. He's out for the 2024 season. That's not a really good picture. It's not a really good picture of him. He's out for the 2024 season. However, the plan was not to make him start, right? He was not going to start right away. The keys were given to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold season, no, for sure. Now it's really Sam Darnold season. They have no other choice. Now it's Sam Darnold season all day, every day. All right, there's not even a question anymore. I think Jim and I covered this in one of the Cigars and Sports that we think that Sam Darnold has way more rope than we thought he's going to have, and now he has all the rope in the world because they have no other freaking choice. All right, no other freaking choice. With that being said, now he can spend a lot of time on the bench while he's rehabbing and recovering and really examine the game and learn from a veteran quarterback because there's no other choice. Absolutely. That's what we have right now. And Jim has a very good point here. Tom Brady, I don't know about Tom Brady of the Vikings. He's done for sure. However, Derek Carr, depending on the season, that could happen. That's actually makes some sense. Some crazy ass sense out of left field kind of shit. But yeah, McCarthy's out for the year with a torn meniscus. Recovery, had successful surgery. And, you just wasted a pick this year. Even though, again, they were not going to allow him. He was not getting a lot of playing time. What do we got next? Let's get back to this bullshit. I'm getting tired of this shit. Still no deal, still no trade, still no signing. Brandon Ayuk would prefer to stay with the 49ers and is hoping to clear a final hurdle of his negotiations before the deal is signed. All right. San Francisco has a trade in place with the Steelers, but Brandon is the one holding the deal and hoping he could reach an agreement with the 49ers. So, look, it's bullshit. We know what Brandon can do. It's getting kind of really tiresome. Supposedly, the Steelers are giving him the money that is favorable for him. But of course, Brandon Ayuk realizes that it's a big difference playing for the 49ers and probably playing in January than sitting on his couch on January watching the 49ers play if he's not with the 49ers. No knock on the Steelers. They're going to be much improved. However, that's a huge concern. And he knows that his best chance to win a Super Bowl is probably with the 49ers and probably any other team in the league. Back to the comments, my boy Jim. Yeah, sign him or trade him. Enough is enough. We have been dragged longer than keeping up with our Kardashians. You're right. Yeah, this is stretching it out longer than Gina Jameson's snatch. Oh man, what else we got here? Let me see. I think you said something here about the about Jettis. Let me see here. What else we got here, Jim? You got another comment from my boy Jim. Yep. There you go. He goes, they can sign him. I'll get the ball to Jetta. Don't worry. Can stack a QB with a cigar in his mouth. That's true. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, guys. And stay tuned. We got big news on Cigars and Sports. Huge cast coming up on the 30th, guys. All right, let's hide this on the screen here. But yeah, I mean, look. Hey, look, Brandon Ayuk is a top player. Check this out. I mean, we know what he could do. We know what he could do.
Told is that Brandon Ayuk would prefer to stay with the 49ers and has always preferred to stay with the 49ers.
Oh, shit.
All things being equal. Now, they haven't been equal.
The 49ers are not going to give him more money. I think the Steelers are already kind of not guaranteed, but told his agent. Supposedly, the Steelers are giving him more money than.
But they did make that offer. In fact, both sides sent proposals within the last, couple days, week or so. And the 49ers number has gotten better than what it was previously. Mm-hmm. And they have, from my understanding, they have agreed on a lot of the main points of the deal. Their offers are in line, but it sounds like there's just one more thing that needs to be ironed out. What I'm told is that.
I mean, this news is like herpes, dude. It doesn't go away. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of catching it. And already the itching doesn't stop. All right, what else we got here? With that being said, yeah, man, we're done with this. We're definitely done with this. Brandon, please sign the deal or agree to the trade. We're done. We're done. I think this is the last time I'm going to speak about Brandon Ayuk until he gets traded, of course, or he signs a new contract. And I'm giving you all the top headlines. All right. And all the good stuff here. It's kind of a fun episode. Before we move on to our the next to the fantasy preview and stuff like that. Here's an interesting Brandon Ayuk lineup. I lied. So Pittsburgh is plus 700 to win the AFC North this season. Can Brandon and Pickens help Tomlin get that division crown? Plus 700. I think I'll take that bet. Even without Brandon. I wouldn't mind taking that bet. It's actually not a bad bet. 700, great return. It's worth to throw like, $10 in there to win 70, right? I'm wrong with that, bro. You know what? Put 25 on that shit and get over 100. See what else we got. What you all think of let me go ahead and what you all think of this commercial? I can't believe this guy actually made a commercial and the dude's getting paid. I mean, they probably got him on the cheap as well. So this went viral the other day. Mayonnaise boy, Will Levis, and we're going to talk about more about Will Levis when I get to the breakdown of the actual when I get to the breakdown of the actual division and stuff like that, because we're actually going to touch that division. Hold on a second. Let me share this with you. I know you all saw this right here. Let me get back to the comments. Let me see. Jim is back here. Steeler fans wanting Juju over Ayuk. Go home and smoke some more crack. In a small role is fine, but as wide receiver one, you're absolutely right, Jim. I think people definitely got to make sure and they go home and do what they're supposed to.
Go home and smoke some more crack.
I agree with you 100%, my guy. I don't know if anybody saw this. Let's go back to the comments. This went viral a couple of days ago. It went completely viral a couple of days ago. It was the brand new commercial. It's a Hellman's commercial from Will Levis. Check this out.
They try to define you, but you are the ingredient to your own success.
I'm going to stop it right here. Because for a moment when I saw this, look, Will Levis is not that popular. Is not that famous. They got him from the cheap, first of all. So I have no idea. I didn't even recognize Will Levis, all right, without a helmet on. That's how unpopular this guy is, right? And for a moment, when I saw the white guy with the Hellman's mayo, I thought, honestly, I'm not kidding, it was a new campaign ad for white dudes for Kamala Harris. Dude, I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to be a dick here. But I thought it was a campaign, a brand new ad for white dudes for Kamala Harris. I honestly thought that, dude. I'm not lying, man. No joke. Because I'm seeing a white guy with mayo and a piece of bread. And then I realized, oh, shit, that's Will Levis.
Luscious. Eggy.
Fucking chooch. He's such a chooch, bro.
Like greatness.
What a chooch.
Will Levis, number 8. Parfum de mayonnaise.
Talk about choochness to the max. What else happened? I think that's it, right? What a chooch. Absolutely chooch, man. The scent of mayo, Levis man, mayo cologne on sale at all department stores. Want to smell like lunch sandwich? They're probably all available at your local Woolworth. I'm dating myself. But yeah, dude, I'm looking at this. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? You know, they did a pretty good job because I think most people believe that it was an actual cologne. It's just he's actually sponsoring. He's being sponsored by Hellman. So he's a Hellman's commercial. Which, by the way, I give him credit. All right, for something that he said jokingly around has actually made him some money because he even had a Mayo commercial last year before he was even a starter. And now after he got a starter and actually a little bit of noise, they got him popping. So, yo, shout out to Will Levis, bro. Shout out to Will Levis. He's making some bread. He's making bread, dude. You know, he's making freaking bread. I don't hate on the bread. Don't hate on the bread. Man. And again, let's get back to the deal here. Let me go ahead and delete that. All right, let's get back here. So today, I think I covered that before I jump into the fantasy stuff. I think I got one more thing. Oh, here's the I need to check this out. This is crazy. Trade that happened late last night. This is nuts. Dude, Judon, we know he missed last year's season, but this guy's a stud. And he was traded, for a third-round pick? That is nuts to the Falcons. This is huge for the Falcons. The Falcons defense, it's not bad. They weren't bad last season. They weren't bad at all last season. They were really coming strong. So, hold on. Back to the comments here, my boy Jim. Levis uses mayo to lube when Kamala goes to Miss Pac-Man on the junk. I know. Go ask her husband, dude. He's a moral guy. But yeah, plus 5,000 to lead the NFL in sacks. This dude has 32 sacks in technically 3 seasons or 2 seasons that he fully played. He had 15 and a half seasons sacks, in 2022. This guy's a stud. Probably their best defensive player. And look, this is huge for the Falcons. This puts the Falcons, to me, in a better position, all right, as long as Kirk Cousins is healthy and can beat 90% of the Kirk Cousins from before, 80%, because Kirk Cousins 80% is better than any of the starting quarterbacks that they had in the last 3 seasons. But this defense is adding him, it's going to do some noise. It's going to create some noise. It's going to help this team stay in close games. And they have enough pop on offense. All right, Bijan at running back, Algier. All right, Drake London. Kyle Pitts might finally have the Kyle Pitts year that everybody and their mother have been waiting from a top tight end who they thought it was going to be the next coming of freaking Kelsey. Even better than Kelsey. So we'll see. All right, they picked up Mooney this year. They have a really decent team. But man, this is huge. This is huge. It sends shockwaves to that division. My allergies are killing me, guys. Sorry, I may sneeze every once in a while. I thought I was in mute. But what also kind of symbolizes is that the New England Patriots are all about unloading. And up to this point, they haven't realized that without Tom Brady there, you cannot get away from signing and paying players to max contracts. Okay. Trent Williams was traded today to New England. Oh crap! I haven't read that one, Jim. I have to look into that, guys. That's huge, though. But going back to Judon, that is huge. That is absolutely huge. So they're not in the Tom Brady years anymore, where they could get away with mediocre, right? Not paying the players and just picking guys in the draft and playing alongside Brady, because Brady made up for the lack of talent around him. He made, dishwashers and cab drivers and plumbers look good. But there definitely has told you that they're one of the cheapest teams in the damn league, because they're not going to play their players. And I get it. They gotta unload. They got to write out these rookie contracts they have right now on defense and offense, and then eventually probably figure something else out. I think Drake May is Drizzy Drake. It's gonna be a bust, man. I hope not. I like Drake May. I got one more for you. There you go. Oh, I got one more for you guys right here. I got lots more, actually. I got also a video to share with you, but I'll share with you guys at the end. Let's move this shit out of the way here. There you go. I got one more for you. Check this out. This popped up the other day. The most valuable NFL teams. The Dallas Cowboys are valued at $10.3 billion effing dollars, dude. That's insane. That's a lot, bro. I don't know what the Yankees are valued at. You know what I'm saying? I have no idea what the Yankees are valued at. The Giants are number 3. That's not bad. It's not bad, dude. We're right up there. The Patriots are $7.3 billion. The Niners, 6.6. Miami Dolphins, wow. They're pretty up there in the top 10. the hell are the Commanders doing in that list, dude? The Raiders, shit. Nostalgia's in the building. And damn Jets. Holy crap, dude. We got some real, because first of all, I'm shocked that the Jets are on this list. I'm shocked that the Raiders are on this list. Commanders are on this list. I get the Patriots. They've won a lot of freaking Super Bowls in the last 20 years. The Dallas Cowboys, we know they're always in the playoffs. You know, it's Jerry Jones. He's one of the best owners that can raise money. Rams, I'm shocked they're number 2. Must be the valuation of California, you know, where you have so much tax revenue. The Giants, they should be there. They absolutely should be there. But the Cowboys, man, $10.3 billion, and Jerry still hasn't paid CeeDee Lamb. I know he's playing his Jerry games, but his dumbass needs to pay CeeDee Lamb and then talk to Dak and be like, Dak, shut the hell up, bro. Give us another year. That team is going to so implode this season. It's not even funny. The Dallas Cowboys are going to implode so much. It's not even freaking funny. No doubt about it. And check this out. I saw this. I thought it was kind of cool.
19 years old, freshman in college.
So these are all, they're asking the dream team, the Avengers, you know, the Avengers. Oh, yeah, get the fuck out of here, the Avengers. They're asking them what age was their first dunk. And some of these are pretty hilarious, and some of these are pretty impressive, and some of these are pretty shocking for athletes.
How old were you when you first dunked?
19 years old, freshman
19.
in college. It took me that long. Davidson College. Off the log, 2 feet, 2 hands. It was a loud day on campus that day.
And I get it, dude. He doesn't have bounce, and he's short. You know what I mean? But, you know, he dunks now every once in a while. So I get it.
Started late. Yeah, I started late.
17? Probably the last one here.
First dunk I was
Look at Tyrese.
14? No, that's cap. 15 going on 16. Like the summer before my sophomore year.
Dude, Tyrese Halliburton is one goofy looking bastard, dude. He even sounds effing goofy, bro. I mean, this kid has like a boring ass game, and he's also a boring dude. I mean, unreal, man. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. Man, he's one goofy bastard.
My dad has it on video.
How old were you when you first dunked?
Oh, here comes the king.
Who?
How old do you think?
Nah, I was 14. Yeah.
I like how the background people were saying, oh, you were 2 years old? Fucking douchebags.
14. I was 13 years old. Tip dunk. Yeah.
In game?
In game for the first time.
Oh, book, baby.
14. I'm 13. 13 years old. 12.
13, 12.
12 or 13.
11? How
Bam.
tall were you at 11?
Get out of here. Bam. He was 11 years old. Bam Adebayo when he dunked for the first time. He was 6'6". That's insane.
How old were you when you first dunked?
That's pretty wild. Bam was 11 years old, and he was 6'6" at that year. Here we go. Randy Orton was asked, LeBron or Jordan, for who the GOAT, and he said LeBron. Of course, it's Randy Orton, bro. He's a dumbass. You know how many chair shots he had to the head? 1,000 of them. More than 1,000. He's a dumbass. Pretty cool, all right? Steph 19. I like how Steph is like, yeah, listen, dude, I ain't gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it not to get it twisted, but yeah, I'm not in that stratosphere. But I'll guarantee you that Steph has hit more threes and he's always hit more threes than anybody. So there's no deal. So definitely, man. All right, let's get popping to the let's get cracking here first and foremost to the divisions. Let's talk some fantasy football. I like to start with the divisions breakdown. All right, let's start with that. Let's talk a little bit about wins. Give you my predictions. As we all know, I'm going to holler at you regarding the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Tennessee Titans, the Houston Texans, and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm going to give you my guess for the division winner. You have to put your money on Houston. They did stacked team. Joe Mixon in the offseason. They traded for Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell is back. Nico Collins had a breakout year and got paid. Their defense is out of control. They strengthened the offensive line. You got C.J. Stroud, Rookie of the Year, who at one point was contending, all right, for also MVP. He is the next up. He said F LeBron. I thought you said he chose fucking LeBron. My bad. Damn, bro. It's that damn language barrier. My bad, dude. Okay. No, good for Randy Orton. And the Chelsea keep getting share shots, man. It's really good. Anyway, going back to that division, my pick on paper, we're gonna go on paper. It has to be Houston. Last year was the Jacksonville Jaguars. On paper, they're the division to lose. And guess what, man? It's not this year. I think Jacksonville may do better because they're gonna have to spread the ball around. They don't have an alpha receiver, even though they drafted a nice guy. And we'll talk more about the players. But I think the Houston Texans should be their division to lose after the year that they had. Okay, I think it's a fair take to say that. Second place, it should be Jacksonville. It should be Jacksonville. I think that the Colts are going to be much improved, and don't be surprised if they shock the Jacksonville Jags for that lead. I won't be surprised. I mean, for a second, I think with a healthy Anthony Richardson, all right, Jonathan Taylor going ham, I believe that they should actually do better. Okay, so it just have to be. It's all based on the health issue. All right. Moving back, let's take a look at their Vegas standing right now on over and under wins. So let's start with the first team that I could find in that division. All right, let's start with the Tennessee Titans. I'm not doing this in any particular order. Tennessee Titans over and under wins in 2024 win totals. All right, is at 6.5, over 6.5. So rated at 6.5, meaning they have to win more than 6 games. They have to win 7 games or lose less than 6. And here's the thing. Right now, that division is stacked, dude, because Houston is oh my God, I'm looking at all the predictions here. It's going to be pretty good. But right now, the Titans are plus 115 to get 7 or more wins. Honestly, boys and girls, let's take a look at the schedule. I don't see them going over 6 wins. I say the under. Chicago week 1, the Jets week 2, that's a loss. Chicago can be a toss-up based on what we see. That they could start 0-2. They could start 0-3. They could start 0-4. To be fair, maybe they'll go 1-3 through the first 4 weeks. They could lose to Indianapolis, Buffalo, Detroit. They're going to lose to. So at this point, they got maybe 2 wins. They're 2-6. New England, they might be 3-6. 4-6 with the Chargers. They do go soft with the Minnesota Vikings. Possibility. I mean, I'm going to go under 6. I just don't trust this team that well. Offensive line, new coach, new offensive scheme. I don't know if Will Levis is that dude. So I'm going to say the under, my man. I am definitely going to say the under for the Titans. Okay. Next, in no specific order. Let me pick here all right, dude. I got it. They're all over the place. They're not in order, guys. So let's go with the Colts. I think the Colts are going to be must improve. Right now, according to MGM, they have them set at 8.5 wins. That's a lot. That's a lot. I think as Anthony Richardson is healthy, I'm going to say over. I'm going to say over. Nah, you know what? Under. To start the season, I think they'll lose to the Texans, the Packers, probably beat the Bears. All right. Lose to the Steelers. Jags is a toss-up. Tennessee, they could beat. Lose to Miami. Week 8, Texans, they could lose again. Beat Minnesota. Lose probably to the Bills. Lose to the Jets. Lose to Detroit. Beat New England, maybe. Beat the Denver Broncos. Tennessee, they could lose 1 out of the 2. My Giants are going to beat them. Yeah, it's tough, man. I'm going to say under 8. I'm going to say 8. It's a wash. I think they're not going to win more than 8 games. Sorry, boys. I am sorry about that. You know what I mean? What's next here? Who else do we have? So we did the Colts. We did the Titans. Let's go to the Jags. 8.5. Under. Under. I'm sorry, guys. It's under. Sorry, Jarrett. I don't see them being better than they were last year. All right. I'm not going to go through the teams here. mean, if you look at the schedule, Buccaneers, that's a tough game. Falcons, that's a tough game. Miami is a tough game. The Browns, a tough game. Bills, it's going to be a tough game regardless. Still got Josh Allen, who's better than Trevor Lawrence. Texans, tough game. The Colts, tough game. Look, I think that to start the season, these guys can probably go 2-6. 2-6. Right? 2-6. There's no, it is what it is. There you go, 2-6. Let me go back here. Let's go. Last but not least, the Texans. I think the Houston Texans, man. Let's go back here to the list here. Houston Texans are projected win total 9.5. Under is plus 120. Over is 1.5. Minus 145. I think they can. According to their schedule, it's pretty similar to the other teams. Week 1 against the Giants. Rams week 2. All right, these are this is the schedule, right? Yeah. We got Colts week 3, Bears. They could actually start the season 1-2. They could start the season, the first 6 games 4-2. 7 games 5-2. Or 5-2. Maybe 5, maybe 4-3. But then it gets better. They have a tough schedule. But I say they could win 10 games. They could absolutely win 10 games. So here we go. Houston Texans they're gonna get the over 9.5. Indianapolis Colts, I said 9, but I'm thinking a better under 8. Jacksonville, man, I think they're gonna. I trust Jacksonville a little bit more than I do the Colts, but I think under 8 as well. And the Titans 6 wash. It is what it is, man. I'm just not, I'm keeping it real. I am absolutely keeping it real. And of course, I think the division winner is absolutely going to be the Texans. Now, we all were very confident last year that was going to be the Jaguars, the Jags. However, that wasn't the case. Sometimes too confidence goes through the roof, and it doesn't work out well. All right, with that being said, let's tackle some fantasy football content, man. I want to give you the fantasy targets per team in the NFC South. AFC South. I apologize. All right, so I want to go over the targets, some players that should be avoided, some breakout performances. So, yeah, man, let's talk some fantasy freaking football, baby. Let's get this popping with some fantasy football. Yeah. Let me share my screen real quick here, guys. All right, let's start with, let me share my screen. So I want to get the depth chart up here, guys. So screen. Here you go. Standings. Who are we going to start first? First, let's start out with the division winners. Let's start out with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let me go over the depth chart over here. The Jacksonville Jags. Last year's complete choke job of a team. They really struggled, dude. It was such a shit show. Don't be surprised. It could happen to the Texans as well, but they are definitely more talented than the Texans with this insane lineup, man. Nico Ryan ain't fucking playing. I want to give you a lock real quick. No doubt about it. Your lock in this team, all right, is Evan Engram. Evan Engram is your lock. Last year, he led the team in yards and receptions. This year, without Calvin Ridley, expect Evan Engram to have a huge year and have more touchdowns. That was what killed him last year. But he is one of the top 5 tight ends coming from last season. Lock, absolutely, you want to make sure you draft Evan Engram because he's going to have more touchdowns. He's going to have way more touchdowns than he did last season. Okay? Another target, and I think he's going to have a breakout year because, again, Calvin Ridley is not there. is going to be Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is an animal, bro. All right. Christian Kirk last year had a really off season, but before that, he was hurt most of the time. 3 touchdowns. He didn't play up many games. Let me go back here to the stats. 787 receiving yards. However, last year he only played 12 games and he was in and out of the lineup. The year before with Jacksonville, this guy he caught over about 1,100 yards, had himself 8 touchdowns. We know what he could do when he's one of the main targets, and I think he's going to be balling this year. He's going to have a breakout season. And the reason why I say breakout is because he didn't have a justified season from last year. I think he's going to overplay. He's undervalued. He's undervalued in my book. I think he's going to definitely beat his ADP. Okay. Somebody you need to avoid in this team. All right. And it's not Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is just a quarterback. It's Gabe Davis. If Gabe Davis did not do that well with with the Bills with Josh Allen, man, Gabe Davis is going to be to me, he's a bust, and you avoid drafting Gabe Davis. Maybe he's a flyer. Pick him up on the waiver wire if you're truly desperate towards the end of the week. He's not going to be touched. Don't waste a pick on Gabe Davis. All right. So here we go. Your targets are lock, Evan Engram. All right. Christian Kirk, breakout player. And, of course, you avoid Gabe Davis. Let's go back to next team. I want to holler at you, baby. These are the players you should be targeting for the Tennessee Titans. Okay, for the Tennessee Titans. Yes, for the Tennessee Titans. Calvin Ridley should be your lock. He's healthier than DeAndre. Okay, let me go look at the depth chart here. He's healthier than DeAndre Hopkins. So I would absolutely target Calvin Ridley after a year off. Last year, even though, he still had a few, he still had a decent season. I mean, let's take a look at the stats from last year. He dropped some balls. We kind of hurt him from the fantasy value, but he did have over 1,000 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns. He could have had at least 10 or 11. And I think Will Levis is going to target the hell out of this young man. There's no effing doubt about it. He's going to target the hell out of him. So he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver in that team. There's no doubt about it. Somebody that you should absolutely also target, and I think it's going to have a breakout season, and eventually, to me, should be the RB1 is Tajae Spears. Okay? Tajae Spears should have a breakout season. It's a sleeper pick as well. You want to draft him because I think he's going to go off the board. And based on the day, when Tajae was getting the majority of the carries in a few games that Henry was in there, we could see what he could do, especially catching the football. That's where, if you're playing a PPR league, guys, you want to go ahead and get with Tajae. He's going to end up being RB1 in this team. All right, we know what he could do from the ability of catching and running with the football and yards after catch. He has to have explosiveness. It's funny because he does remind me, excuse me, man, my allergies are killing me. He does remind me of a Tony Pollard, who is the same individual that they drafted, that they ended up signing a free season. 70 targets last year from a receiving standpoint. I think he's going to do some damage. He's going to be a sleeper. I would draft him. That's towards the A, bargain bin, because he's going to be pretty good. I think he's going to surprise some people. Breakout sleeper is my pick for Tajae Spears. Next, avoid Will Levis. I just don't believe in Mayonnaise Boy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I don't believe in Mayo Boy. Look, he showed some good signs last year. He came in. He has a strong arm. He could throw some shit. But I don't think I think the fact he's going to be pressured so much. Bad offensive line. New coordinator, new coach. Honestly, I don't believe in Will Levis. That's why I will stay away from him. There's other quarterbacks at better value than Will Levis. If you're playing a Superflex league, yeah, you pick him up as your backup. All right, let's get back. So, again, definitely a lock in this team. It's going to be Calvin Ridley. Tajae is your sleeper / breakout, and avoid Will Levis. Next team here. All right, who do we got here? The standings. Let's go to the Houston Texans. Here's the thing about Houston, man. It's hard to evaluate Houston because they have so much talent, right? And there's going to be guys that are going to have good seasons. They're going to have good seasons, but it's way too much to give you all of them. But there's one of those teams that you focus, all right, and you go after players. First and foremost, and this team, you want to lock Nico Collins. I think Nico Collins, even if Stephon Diggs is there, is the number one wide receiver. Okay? He's the number one wide receiver. Nico is nasty. What he did last year, and I know Tank Dell was in the mix, but 80 receptions, 8 touchdowns, almost 1,300 receiving yards. It's pretty impressive. Another one you definitely want to go after as a, they're like a treasure trove of offense, right? It's Tank Dell. Tank Dell is going to go in there. And listen, I think Tank Dell is very talented. He's very talented. And when he went down, all right, he was having himself a nice season. But you also, let me go back to Tank Dell here. Oh, come on, man. I hate when this happens. It's my mouse that's kicking my butt here. Tank Dell last year, 47 receptions, had 7 touchdowns. All right, in 11 games played. This kid has a nose for the end zone and has a nose for the football. Love this guy. I'm telling you, man, he is right now probably round 3. You're looking, last year was picked in round 3. He's actually a lot higher than that. Avoid Joe Mixon. Too many miles on Joe. He fits that model. I know what Devin Singletary did in that lineup, and people, Joe Mixon should be better, but he has way more miles than Devin Singletary. And Joe has been in the decline now for the last, how many years, since he had that couple of good seasons. He had a good season last year, but avoid Joe. Joe's is going to lose some. They're going to mix it up, man. They got to throw the football way too much, and Joe is going to be kind of irrelevant. So avoid Joe Mixon. I'm not saying to avoid Stephon Diggs, but in this offense, I like Nico and Tank Dell. Not in a specific order. Either guy I would pick before. If all 3 guys are on the board, Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, and Tank Dell, I'm going with either Nico or Tank Dell in any order before I draft Stephon Diggs. I'm not saying not to draft Stephon Diggs because, Stephon Diggs can be like your 4th wide receiver, your flex wide receiver, that mix, right, back and forth. But I like Tank and Nico better. Who do we finally have here? Let's go back to let me go back here to let me just pick here on the team. Let's go to the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis is very interesting. The Colts are very, very interesting, right? Let's go back to the team. Let's go to the depth chart. Of course, your lock and probably one of the top fantasy quarterbacks is Anthony Richardson. There's no bullshit on that. You want to lock up Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. Those are 2 locks that if you have an IQ of 102, you should be able to pick this up. You should not pick these 2 guys if they're available. Anthony Richardson in the short sample size is going to be an animal, 30-something points, I think 22, 30-something in the first 2 or 3 games before he got hurt fantasy-wise because his rushing ability is insane. The rushing upside is so huge. Jonathan Taylor is my other guy because fully healthy. We saw how he ended the season. We know he's been the number 1 running back. All right. Drafts before. Jonathan Taylor is also a lock. All right. With Anthony Richardson back there, it's going to be such an insane way. It's going to be hard to match up with these 2 guys. They're going to be running the football a lot. Somebody that you should, if healthy, and we don't know what the health status is, but I think who's going to have a breakout season, is going to be a sleeper, is Josh Downs. Josh Downs last year with Minshew Mania, 68 receptions, 771 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a really good season, man. And, we're going on the second year. I like what I see there from a sleeper standpoint. So definitely, if healthy, keep an eye on Josh Downs. I think it's going to be a surprise sleeper pick. Somebody you should avoid. And I know he just got paid. All right. Actually, I don't want to say it to avoid Pittman. I think Pittman is going to have probably his best season with Anthony Richardson because he is that dude. I think he could be that dude. I don't want to say to avoid him. You could just keep him there. He is decently valued. All right. I forget what this ADP is right now. I don't have it in front of me. I wouldn't avoid Pittman, but I think I'd rather, if I have other wide receivers over Pittman, I would probably don't choose Pittman. But Dows, definitely a sleeper, stash, late round pick, depending on his health. Keep an eye on that. Absolutely. Jonathan Taylor, absolutely. Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson is probably after Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. Remember, we're talking about fantasy, not real football, folks. All right, fantasy, you want to go for the running quarterback. I think Anthony Richardson is probably 4. Yeah, no shit. So dope. Very good, my friends. Very good. So that's what I'm saying, man. Here, just to recap real quick. All right, your fantasy targets and avoids. Let's start with the Houston. Hold on a second. Houston Texans. All right, I'm sorry. With the Houston Texans, I like Nico. I like Tank Dell. Avoid Joe Mixon. The Colts, I just mentioned, lock is Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. Your breakout sleeper, if healthy, Josh Downs. Titans, you lock Calvin Ridley. All right. Tajae Spears is going to be your sleeper breakout. Avoid Will Levis. All right. Jacksonville Jaguars, you lock Evan Engram. He's going to be their number 1 receiver. You also lock it, but I think he's undervalued right now from a ADP standpoint. It's going to be Christian Kirk. We know what he could do when fully healthy. And he's played with Trevor Lawrence. So that guy is one that you want to pick up because he's going to be one of those guys that's going to give you some really good numbers from a very, very undervalued standpoint. Avoid Gabe Davis for freaking sure. There we go. Those are your locks. All right. Sleepers and avoids. All right. For what division are we talking about again? For the AFC South. AFC South. Before I go, I forgot to share this earlier on, man, but this is a cool story, right? It's like it's an 8-year-old girl who beats up a robber at her dad's store, right? This is actually insane. It's an 8-year-old girl who beats robber with a baseball bat, He came to rob his dad's liquor store in Minnesota. Figures Minnesota, defund the fucking police. That's where the shit happens. Dude grabs a bat and beats the robber up, man, while her dad is like, you know what I'm saying, trying to battle this dude, fight this dude. Let me share this with you. Let's close this out. Let's close out the show today on a high note and a positive note. Hold on a second, boys and girls. Here we go. Boom. Hold on. Boom. The quality's not great. It's kind of like one of those security cameras. But here you go. 8-year-old girl beats up a robber that was robbing her dad's liquor store in Minnesota.
The store. Surveillance video shows him wearing an Amazon uniform, reaching in his pocket before setting a realistic.
Yeah, Amazon. Listen, man, Amazon has not been in the news from a good standpoint lately, man. This is just not a good look for them, regardless whether the guy stole that Amazon jacket or not, or whether he works for Amazon or not. Talk about a PR nightmare and a cleanup from Amazon, even though this guy may not even work for Amazon.
BB gun on the counter.
Put the gun on the table.
A BB gun.
He asked me to give him all the money and everything I got in the register. And I told him, yes, I give you everything.
But behind the counter, beside Leo.
You can't be that fucking stupid. A BB gun. You got to try to rob a store with a BB gun? Dude, come on, man. Everybody owns guns nowadays, except Minnesota, because they are anti-gun. They're socialists. They don't care about the people. They want to defund the police. Minnesota's a shithole, by the way.
His 8-year-old daughter.
I tried to talk to him and say, you know what? I got my daughter here. Can you just please put the gun down, move it away from her? I will give you everything. Take everything. It's money. I don't care. I just care about the safety for her.
But when he started walking behind the counter,
As a dad, dude, look, if I was in the same position, I'm looking out to my daughter first. Fuck the money. I'm okay with that guy, what he's doing. I'm okay with that guy. So
I'm a dad. I'm not going to be let that happen.
Leo punches the man, wrestling him to the floor. Seconds later,
I'm coming to the rescue.
you see his brave little girl
So I'm so proud of her. So she's so strong.
grab a baseball bat.
This is the bat.
yo, that's a big
She
bat
was
for an 8-year-old,
one
man.
Hitting the suspect before running away.
That day I would say I just want to cry when I see the video because I was like, I don't expect she do that. I expect like a little girl crying or screaming.
An incredible act of heroism.
And she said she wanna be defend me.
From a little girl who saw her dad needed help. In Maplewood, Uba Ali, WCCO.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Saw that little girl with the bat was hitting the guy on the ground. I mean, shoot, dude, that's something else, man. It sucks that in this world, dude, we're in that scenario, man. You see a little girl there in the building, you're still gonna rob the joint, dude. Come on, man. It's stupid, man. Let's go take a look at the little girl beating the crap out of this guy. Here, hold on a second. Boom. Look at this.
An incredible act of heroism.
And she's a little girl crying.
No, she's crying with the bat.
An incredible act of heroism.
I
Look.
just
Hit that shit. Hit him.
I just want to cry when I see the video because I was
Hitting the suspect
Hit him in the head.
running away.
that day I would say I just
Look at that. You got to teach her to swing a bat, though.
When I see the video because I was like, I don't expect she to screaming.
An incredible
Shout out to
act
that little
of
girl. God
heroism.
bless her soul. God bless that store owner.
From a little girl who saw her dad needed.
God bless that little girl. God bless that family, man. You know what I mean, dude? Yo, man. You play stupid games, you get stupid prices. And I'm glad that nothing really bad happened to this family. And it was a dumbass for a thief that came into that store. Sometimes the outcome is not that positive. Somebody usually gets hurt in this situation, and is usually the innocent individual, not the guy committing the crime, which is BS. Again, it's Minnesota. Minnesota is a complete shithole and has become a haven for criminal homelessness and pretty much censoring too. I mean, look at their governor and also the guy who's running for VP. Anyway, I appreciate everybody for popping up. Jim, shout out to Jim, my boy who's always showing love. My other co-host, my second half of Cigars and Sports with E-Man and Jim. April 30th, we're not having an episode this week. We might do a TikTok live, so jump over to TikTok probably Saturday. But we're not gonna have, we're not gonna have an episode this week. We got a huge episode, man, on the 30th, and we gotta be giving you more. We're gonna tell you more about it. It's definitely gonna be some banging guests, cigar content. Not to give it out, but check out Jim and his Instagram. He's been popping some positive news and promoting that one right there. I'll start next week. Again, thank you everybody for watching and listening. As always, your boy E-Man from the Average Sports Talk Network signing out. Peace.
Yo!